When we start to see through the lens of our soul, our higher soul perspective, we can start to recognize that depression is a sustained state of soul abandonment. And truly, we can see that most of the mainstream world are living in this state. Depression can sometimes be disguised and overlooked when there's a lot of distraction. But ultimately, when we're living in a way where we're trying to fit into the world and we're trying to find not just belonging, but fulfillment without authentic soul expression, it actually leads to kind of a sickness. And that sickness might be on a mental level, a physical level, an emotional level, but it keeps us ill. And that's just simply our soul communicating to us that we have dishonored our truth, that the light that we are as souls. And I've myself have gone through years of depression. Some of those years I didn't know that it even was depression. But God gave me this perspective to help me to see and recognize that the way that we truly find fulfillment and peace and come into an embrace that we can call the love of God, we have to find permission to show up authentically in the world and to shine our light. Because if we dishonor that, if we continually dishonor it, it begins to chip away and we begin to experience some level of depression slash and or anxiety. And so that's just a really simple way of being able to understand and to put a context to these experiences. If we prioritize our soul authenticity, if we prioritize our relationship with God and allow ourselves to be validated, and we begin to see ourselves through the lens of God, through the eyes of God, and we decide that we're going to claim our Christed identity, that is our true identity as a child of God, who we truly are meant to be in the world, then we'll begin to live authentically, and that is the ultimate cure of depression and anxiety, which is ultimately just this kind of restlessness, this unease of the soul that's not able to express itself. And I can see this as almost, imagine this almost like a light that has no place to shine. And it's just kind of frantically trying to anchor. But it's unable to, right? It creates this restlessness, this unease, this friction. It's this kind of internal conflict between the true soul expression and the identity of fear. And the identity of fear has to move out of the way to allow space for the Christed identity that is the true light, the unique light that you are as a soul, to embody, to find belonging in the vehicle of your human expression. And that's what begins to create harmony, not just in the body, but also harmony in our entire lives. It creates health and wellness on all levels. Light needs to move, it needs to express. That's just an innate quality and nature of light. It needs to flow. And so if we're not allowing that flow of true light, which is the expression of our authenticity, then we're not allowing that light to flow and it becomes blocked. And that is what creates this illness that we can call depression. So I know and I trust this video is going to find exactly those who's meant to, and just know that you're here to be authentic, you're here to shine your light and not to suppress it, not to repress it in any way. And you can take this perspective and you can meditate on it and journal with it, and it will begin to unlock a new permission, a deeper permission for the soul expression that is here to shine and that's here to inspire others. And ultimately, this is our service as part of this greater body of light that we can see as an architecture or an organism. We can call this the true body of Christ. And we serve this body, we serve humanity, we serve each other by showing up authentically. It really is that simple. And so we start to see, the way the old world is set up with so many distractions, and it's rooted in obscurity and illusion and confusion and fragmentation, where it just perpetuates this depression, which is when the soul hasn't able to anchor, it hasn't found belonging, it hasn't found its place where it can truly express. So it just creates this feeling of obscurity and like lostness, right? Directionlessness, purposelessness. So yeah, I hope that helps. And I think with depression and with soul abandonment, there's many layers of it. And as we start to claim our Christed identity, what happens is God will start to illuminate, and our soul will begin to illuminate where all the nuances, all the subtle nuances where we're still dishonoring our soul, or where we can make miniature realignments, and we become more and more sovereign, and this empowers the soul and helps us to show up authentically. And that's what we're here to do, and that is truly what helps us to align to a dimension that we can call heaven, the dimension that we can call harmony, where we experience true belonging and where we experience true peace.